Money is coming. You will be generously rewarded. Written and published by Rich Audiobooks. Can you feel it? That subtle shift in the air, the quiet hum beneath your daily life, the invisible thread pulling something beautiful toward you. It is not a coincidence. It is not a fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. The money you've been calling in, $10,000, is already on its way. Really take a breath and sit with that. It's not a goal in the distance. It's a reality in motion. The universe has heard the whispers of your soul, the radiant pulse of your desires, and it's already rearranging the world to deliver what your heart has dared to believe in. Not because you begged, not because you struggled, but because you finally aligned. You're not asking for too much. You're asking to receive what was always meant for you. Money responds to readiness, and you, beautiful, brave soul, are finally ready. Every time you chose gratitude when you had little, every time you looked up instead of spiraling down, every time you believed just one more day past your breaking point, the universe took note. These weren't small steps, they were sacred initiations. This $10,000 isn't a reward for effort, it's a reflection of who you've become. And who you've become is someone who has decided they are worthy. Chapter 1. $10,000 is already on its way to you. You've clicked into a new frequency now. Can you feel it moving through your body? That quiet certainty that it's coming? That anchored inner knowing that something is shifting? That is the signal. Ooh. And because you've sent it, life is responding. Don't rush to figure out how. Don't labor to make it happen through force or frantic action. Don't collapse into doubt just because it's not yet in your hands. Instead, become the version of you who already has it. What would you do with $10,000 arriving today? Completely expected, and yet undeniably magical. Who would you become tomorrow, knowing that money is not only coming, but arriving through channels that feel light, aligned, and divinely orchestrated? The invitation now is to relax into certainty. Not a certainty rooted in ego or prediction, but one rooted in energy. The kind that says, I don't know how, but I know it's mine. That calm, bold frequency is what draws money in like a magnet. Begin seeing signs as evidence. The unexpected check in the mail, a gift from a friend, someone deciding to pay you more, a refund you forgot about, a bonus you didn't anticipate. These are not small things. These are flickers of the fire that's coming, flickers of the $10,000 that has already said yes to you on a quantum level. Every sign is a promise kissed by the divine. Touch them gently, celebrate them loudly. They are proof that your financial field is becoming radiant. Don't hold your breath or wait with clenched fists. Breathe, loosen, soften. Let this money come to you the way the morning comes, not forced, but inevitable. Be the one who smiles from knowing, not needing. You are no longer in the energy of trying. You've stepped into the energy of already done. Because it is. Something in you has clicked into place. Something in your frequency has become magnetic. And the universe, being as faithful as ever, is delivering the amount you've quietly declared behind closed doors. $10,000. It doesn't matter if you don't see it yet. Trust me, it's real. It's been dispatched. The deposit is underway, and it's arriving not only to ease your life, but to affirm your alignment. To confirm to your heart what your soul already knew. Your energy is working. Your trust didn't go unnoticed. Your desire wasn't denied. It was just divinely timed. Let your life, starting now, mirror the ease of inevitable wealth. Let your words be soaked in gratitude. Let your posture reflect peace. End the war you've silently waged against lack, and settle into this new truth. The money is coming. The struggle is over. The tide is turning. And $10,000 is already on its way to you. Chapter 2. You're ready to receive $50,000 with ease. Take a deep breath, not to prepare for the work ahead, but to settle into the truth of what's already here. Ease, flow, softness. You've spent so long equating money with hard effort, emotional overextension, and soul-wearing hustle that the idea of ease may almost feel irresponsible. But listen closely. You were never meant to earn your worth through exhaustion. The heavens didn't design you to break before you receive. That was the old story. That was survival. This is your arrival. You are ready to receive $50,000 with ease. Not Sunday. Not with a 5-year plan. Not if you hustle harder or compromise deeper. You're ready now, because at a soul level, you've dropped back into truth. The truth that abundance responds not to struggle, but to surrender. Not to pain, but to permission. There is a part of you ancient and wise that knows this. Money was never outside of you. It knows that $50,000 doesn't need to be justified, strategized, or wrestled into existence. It simply needs to be received by someone who has finally made room for it. Someone who stopped over-explaining why they deserve it. Someone who no longer apologizes for their dreams, asking for more than just enough. Perhaps there were times you thought ease was dangerous. Maybe you feared becoming lazy, selfish, or greedy. But what if ease was just alignment in motion? What if ease isn't the absence of effort, but the presence of grace? The universe knows how to compensate those who choose wholeness over hustle. And darling, that's you. You didn't bypass the journey, you alchemized it. You shifted the shame, you honored your past, and you chose to believe that your peace matters enough to lead the way. That's why this money has your name on it now. This is $50,000 that comes with open palms. Money that doesn't ask for your sleep, your boundaries, or your dignity in exchange. It comes closed in light, wrapped in divine timing. It comes because you decided that money flowing to you doesn't have to mean depletion. You no longer carry the weight of guilt around easeful provision. Why would you? Just like a sunflower doesn't apologize for being fed by the sun, you were born to blossom under the light of men. Abundance. Let that new belief root itself into your system. It's safe for me to make money without leaking my energy. It's safe for money to come quickly, generously, and without struggle. It's safe for me to have more than I need. It's safe. It's safe. It's safe. The $50,000 that's arriving doesn't just come to fill a bank account. It comes to validate the version of you who finally said, I don't have to fight anymore. It comes to wrap its arms around the moments you almost quit, the days you wondered if the universe had forgotten, the times your nervous system braced for disappointment, but you still chose to believe, even with trembling hands. You didn't just visualize, you harmonized. And now, you stabilize. Feel this in your body, the ease, the grace, the overflow. This is not too good to be true. This is your new baseline. You're being invited into a divine receiving state, one where money feels like a beautiful bonus to your already beautiful alignment. Can you feel it already arriving? That tickle in the air, that soft promise being fulfilled in mysterious and miraculous ways. You are no longer compensated from the energy of trying. You're compensated from the vibration of truth. And the truth is this: $50,000 is small compared to the bigness of your alignment. So don't chase the number. Embody the ease. Love yourself into softness. Dance more, laugh deeper, walk slowly, breathe consciously. Let go of the pressure to be productive in every moment, and let intimacy with the moment become your magnet. The old model taught you to clench for worthiness, but you're releasing the grip now. That's why it's flowing in. It doesn't have to come through the job with the long hours, or through the opportunity that drains your spirit. It may come through someone else's yes, a forgotten investment, a bold decision, a quiet miracle, a loving universe. But it's coming. You're not earning money anymore, sweet soul. You're letting your energy collect it. Because when you remember who you are, the money always remembers where to find you. Chapter 3. $100,000 has been assigned to your name. You have been seen, beloved. Every midnight prayer, every whispered intention, every tear you thought fell unnoticed, it has been collected by the universe with reverence. You are not a random participant in the flow of life. You are divinely chosen to receive, and you are divinely timed to bloom. Nothing has been lost. Nothing has been missed. The money you've longed for, visualized, cried over, and journaled about, it's not a wish floating in the void. It's a decision the universe already made, and $100,000 has been assigned to your name. This isn't about hope anymore. This is about a deep, ancient remembrance that you, in your soul's blueprint, were always meant to walk in abundance. Not just in theory, but in tangible overflow. There's a ledger written in light, and your name is written there, not in ink, but in frequency. The promise was never that you had to earn it through exhaustion or self-sacrifice. The promise was that when you remembered your wholeness, the path would clear. And it is clearing now. Take a deep breath. Not for relaxation, but for recognition. Something within you has shifted permanently. Perhaps it was subtle, Perhaps it came through a quiet choice you made this week, or a limiting belief you finally said no to. Maybe it showed up as suddenly crying for no reason, releasing old versions of yourself you no longer needed to carry. That was not random. That was a release to make room for the wealth your spirit has been preparing for lifetimes. Ancestral scarcity ends with you. You have already been paying a debt that was never yours to carry, simply by choosing to heal. You've walked through memories and thought forms you didn't even create, just to prove that a new story is possible, not just for you, but for everyone who comes after. And guess what? The universe saw every step. It witnessed your courage in the dark. And now, the reward is arriving. Not as compensation, but as confirmation. That $100,000, it's spiritual fulfillment made financial. It's a sacred return on the energy you said yes to. And the beauty? You don't need to chase it. You don't need to figure out how. Nothing needs to be forced or overanalyzed to the point of strain. You're not chasing money, you're becoming the energetic frequency that it can't help but find. You're becoming magnetic to miracles, a living invitation for overflow. You may have already seen whispers of it. Random opportunities, unusual conversations, unexplained nudges. Follow them. Trust them. The form it takes might surprise you, but the total $100,000 is not just symbolic, it's precise. It's measured by the vibration you've stepped into. You didn't just ask for money, you asked for freedom. You asked for evidence that you are held, and the universe responded with this number. It doesn't have to take 5 years. It doesn't have to be slow or difficult. It just has to be received. Let yourself receive. Can you feel it now? It's not far away. It's woven into your field like a golden thread ready to unravel. Soon, one thread will lead to another. One phone call, one email, one inspired action, and then the unfolding. But the difference is, your identity is already prepared. You are no longer the person who waits for permission to be blessed. You are now the one who expects blessing as a way of life. Pause here and connect. Not with fear, not with doubt, but with vision. Place your hand over your heart and say, "It's mine now." Say it again, not as a mantra, but as a memory you're finally reclaiming. It's mine now. 'Cause it is. That $100,000 isn't just possible, it's promised. And that promise is not contingent on your performance. It's coded into your vibration. Every time you soften, every time you trust, every time you release the old story, you step closer. In truth, you've already arrived. Breathe into the knowing and walk forward like it's already yours, because in the places that matter most, it already is. Chapter 4. The universe will reward you with $30,000 plus for your alignment. It was never about how hard you worked. It was never about keeping your head down, hustling into exhaustion, chasing some distant financial reward like it might slip through your fingers if you dared to pause. No, beloved, it was always about energy. It was always about alignment. The version of you reading this now has gone through waves most cannot speak of. You've questioned yourself in silence. You've followed inner nudges no one else could feel. You've said no to timelines and paths that didn't match your truth, even when it looked foolish to others. That wasn't failure. That was alignment, and the universe took notes. Every no that left your lips cleared space for something sacred to arrive. Every tear you released, not in defeat, but in declaration of wanting more, shifted your vibration upward. And now, in the stillness of your receiving, the universe gathers what's already yours. $30,000 or more has been summoned by your truth alone, and it knows exactly how to find you. You did not earn this money through force. You aligned for it by becoming honest. This wealth is not a reward for perfection. It is a mirror of your expanding resonance with freedom itself. You are not chasing money. You are becoming a match for it. You are no longer negotiating your worth. You are no longer asking for crumbs from life when the feast was made with you in mind. And because of that, divine compensation must arrive. It's law. And $30,000 plus is just a beginning expression of what happens when a soul says yes to itself. This is the energy of overflow, not lack. This is the realm where bills pay themselves, not through stress, but through spiritual certainty. Where opportunities don't have to be forced, they arrive because your presence radiates, "I'm ready." You're not trying to prove anything anymore. That release, that absence of tension, that's alignment. You've stepped into honesty, and honesty is the portal to abundance. Let yourself feel it now. Not tomorrow, not someday when the direct deposit shows up, or the check is printed, or the client finally says yes. Feel it in this breath, in this moment. There is money already circulating with your name coded into its vibration. There are unseen hands moving in your favor because your soul dared to return home to itself. You may not always see it immediately, but you will feel it. The lightness, the clarity, the moments where silence feels supportive instead of cruel. Those are signs. That is wealth approaching. That is the $30,000 plus preparing its entrance through people, ideas, and divine orchestration beyond your imagination. Trust that this moment of alignment is valuable. Trust that your now is enough, because within this moment lives the axis of everything you've been asking for. The longer you linger here in surrender, in soul truth, in grounded power, the more inevitable your reward becomes. And $30,000 plus is the echo that says, the universe sees you. The universe is not blind to inner work. In fact, it's the only thing it rewards. This money is not a fluke. It's not accidental. And it's not a mystery. It's the echo of your becoming. It's your yes to integrity, echoing back as unexpected income. It's your morning spent saying, I choose peace, instead of rushing into misaligned plans, now multiplying into prosperity. It's every decision you made for your future self, now returning as cash, clarity, and spacious abundance. You walked away from what didn't serve, and $30,000 plus is walking toward you with grace because of it. Keep breathing like it's done. Keep waking up like you're supported. Keep moving as if the universe is conspiring in your favor, because it is. And the more you drop into that knowing, the faster everything good finds you. Let the moment settle in your bones. You are no longer available for struggle. You are no longer tolerating being out of resonance with your worth. You've called back your power, claimed your gifts, realigned with truth, and the universe has recalibrated its delivery schedule around you. $30,000 plus is your alignment bonus. Yes, there is more coming. Yes, this is just the start. But for now, hold space for this number to arrive. Make room for it in your bank account, in your body, in your identity. Speak to it gently. Thank it, as if it's already here. Because it is. Alignment speaks louder than effort. Always has. Always will. You've chosen truth now. Allow the compensation to meet you. Chapter 5. Every delay was preparing you for $250,000 in overflow. You were never waiting. You were being readied. Every moment you spent wondering where the money was, why it hadn't come yet, why it was taking so long, none of it was wasted. The truth? You were never being punished or postponed. You were being prepared. Read that again. Every step, every pause, every delay was architected in love. And what's coming for you now, the $250,000 overflow, couldn't have arrived 1 second sooner. The version of you who's reading these words is not the version who would have known how to fully receive this level of abundance before. You've grown into someone different, someone deeper, softer, more magnetic, not through pushing or proving, but through releasing. Through following the quiet inner whispers that said, there's more for you. Through the long nights you didn't understand, but kept your heart open anyway. Through the moments that broke you open wide enough for the light to flood in. You should know that the universe didn't ignore your prayers. It was simply preparing the size of your blessing to match the size of your becoming. Delay isn't denial. It's divine design. And just because it came slower than you hoped, doesn't mean it won't arrive bigger than you dreamed. $250,000 is not just money. It's restoration. It's the soft rewind of all the timelines you thought you'd missed. It's the effortless replenishment of every place you thought you lost time, resources, or joy. Overflow isn't compensation, it's celebration. And the universe is about to celebrate you. That number, $250,000, it isn't cherry-picked from the sky. It has spiritual weight. It represents the season you're stepping into. A season wide enough for overflow. A season where the manifestations match not just your effort, but your energy. You're not just being repaid, you're being rewarded. And trust me, there's a difference. This overflow is personal. It will not feel like hustle. It will not feel like striving. It will arrive with grace, wrapped in divine timing, adorned with signs so specific that your soul will recognize them instantly. You'll know it when it comes. There will be no fear, No confusion, no frantic grab to hold on. Only peace, only knowing, only the sweet, quiet inhale where you whisper to yourself, of course. Because by the time it reaches you, you'll no longer be reaching. You'll be resting in your worthiness. You'll already know it's yours. You'll already feel rich. The money is simply catching up to your energy. So if part of you still mourns what didn't happen sooner, let that grief go gently now. You didn't miss anything. What's yours can't be lost. You weren't forgotten. You were being fortified. Your roots were being deepened so your tree could rise tall enough to hold the weight of this harvest. Let yourself remember, expansion can feel like emptiness before it feels like overflow. But now, it's your turn. It's your turn for the doors to swing open. It's your turn for the wires of divine compensation to light up in your favor. It's your turn to sit in awe of how the universe packaged every delay as a promise in disguise. And not just a trickle of proof, but a flood. $250,000. Say it slowly. Let your body respond. Let your heart soften to the reality that the numbers lining up weren't just meant for others. They were meant for you. You are that trusted. You are that chosen. You are that prepared. Nothing you've endured diluted your destiny. It only refined it. And now, the time you thought you lost will be returned as wealth you never expected. The money that felt delayed is now arriving as overflow. The reward got bigger while you got still. Receive this. Not just with your mind, but with the part of you that always knew it was coming. This isn't back pay. This is promotion. This isn't luck. This is alignment. This isn't random. This is divine right. Delay didn't deny you. It multiplied you. And now, $250,000 is yours to welcome home. Chapter 6. Your faith will be matched with $1,000 daily miracles. You've believed when there was no evidence. You've spoken abundance when your bank account whispered otherwise. You've held on to possibility when logic begged you to let go. And now, your faith, fierce, enduring, luminous, is being matched. Every day, $1,000 is being prepared in your favor. Not just in dollars, but energy. Not only in transactions, but in transformations. The universe has seen how faithful you've been in the absence of confirmation, and it's decided today is the day daily miracles begin to unfold in your name. This is what faith does. It tills the unseen soil with unwavering expectation. It walks through the valley and carries a crown anyway. Your energy has been unmistakably clear. Even when doubt knocked, you didn't fully answer. Even when fear tried to choke your breath, you still made room to believe. And that belief has reached the tipping point. It has echoed beyond time, called forth spiritual wealth, and struck divine agreements on your behalf. You may have thought nothing was happening, but something sacred was always unfolding, quietly, perfectly. Now, the abundance that has been gathering behind the veil is breaking through. In emails, in unexpected refunds, in surprise clients, and whispered ideas that turn into profitable paths. In someone choosing to bless you simply because their spirit said, this one deserves overflow. Daily, consistently, effortlessly aligned. You don't need to earn this. Your belief earned it for you. Money and miracles are not random. They are responsive. And you have become magnetic to both. When you kept affirming, I am provided for, your inner world surged with wealth codes. When you refused to shrink, when you declared, abundance is mine now, the universe clapped in agreement and began rearranging matter in your favor. Every time you chose expansion over contraction, faith over fear, you made it easier for God to get the blessing through. And now it's arriving, daily, in $1,000 gratitude bombs, in favor that can't be explained, in divine payments disguised as coincidences. Something sacred happens when you stop trying to force it and start trusting it's already unfolding. You don't need to chase. Daily miracles chase you now. Even today, you may not know exactly how it will arrive, but trust that it is en route, because the vibration you hold now is a declaration that you're available for consistent provision. You no longer worship uncertainty. You've divorced delay. You are in union with abundance now, and she is a generous partner. Your timeline quickens, not because of hustle, but because of harmony. You're finally resonating with the truth that money is not a miracle, it is a mirror. It reflects the frequency you live in, and you, beloved, have been living in relentless trust, in unapologetic expectancy. in sacred belief that something good is always finding you. That belief is now cashing checks in your name. There will be mornings you wake up to answers you didn't ask for, orders fulfilled without effort, clients who felt you in their dreams, gifts appearing like old friends returning to remind you your energy is your currency, and you've become infinitely wealthy in trust. Don't be surprised when every corner of your day starts to bloom with divine surprise, when you're offered more than you asked, when you're blessed in rooms you've never entered. Daily now, the tide is turning. Drop by drop, it becomes a current of unstoppable overflow. $1,000 at a time. Love note from the universe disguised as digits. Proof that what you believed was never in vain. Miracles are multiplying not just in your account, but in your soul. Your capacity to receive is expanding. You're seeing with new eyes, feeling with new fullness. It's no longer about if, it's about how good you'll allow it to get now. Whisper this to yourself when old fears speak. My faith is not empty. It is a living command, a magnet for daily miracles, a portal for divine prosperity. And I will not be forsaken. I will be favored. There is a rhythm now, a cadence of daily delight, one that says, I believe, one that responds, then, watch what we do next. Your $1,000 daily miracles have already begun. Chapter 7. You're not behind, you're aligned, with a $500,000 timeline. There's a reason you've always felt a little out of sync with the pace of the world, like you were walking through an invisible corridor that only you could feel, and yet somehow, it never matched the world's clock. You watched others rush ahead, collect their rewards, shout about wins you worked twice as hard for, and still, yours hadn't shown. But you've never been behind. You've been in alignment with a larger, grander wave, a $500,000 wave. And it's not coming late. It's arriving right on time. Alignment doesn't always look like action. Sometimes, alignment looks like stillness, like silence, like resting when the world demands you run. Sometimes, your intuition has asked you to pause, not because you're lazy, not because you're lost, but because your wealth was timing itself to the rhythm of your soul, not the noise of the world. The universe has never, not for 1 second, forgotten you. There is a timeline tailor-made for you, a sacred map that has been unfolding quietly beneath your daily worry, your fears, even your trust. It's the timeline where $500,000 doesn't feel accidental, it feels inevitable. The timeline where overflow isn't an anomaly, it becomes your atmosphere. This isn't far away. This is not a distant version of your life that only shows up once you earn it. This is something you've already been energetically investing in. Every time you chose faith over fear, peace over panic, alignment over approval. Let yourself remember this. Things can change in a heartbeat. Quantum shifts by nature are sudden. They do not ask for permission from logic or approval from your past. They arrive because you've been vibrating with readiness, even when you didn't feel ready. You are not behind. Destiny does not run by human calendars. Divine timing cannot be emailed or scheduled. And real wealth, heart-aligned, spacious, soul-supplied wealth, does not respond to rush energy. It arrives when your energy slows enough to receive it. The version of you that receives $500,000 is not someone new. She is not someone foreign. It's you, as you already are, but minus the pressure, minus the guilt, minus the old mental math, where you try to count your worth in effort instead of energy. You receive now not because you finally did enough, but because you finally became fully available. You traded chasing for choosing. You traded doubt for devotion. You traded maybe one day for yes, right now. And the universe heard your shift. That breath you took when you finally released needing to prove it created space for $500,000 to breathe its way in. The moment you stopped telling the story of delay and leaned into divine flow, an acceleration began. Your timeline is not linear, it's quantum. That means a year's worth of income can arrive in a week. A decade's worth of striving can be repaid in a single opportunity. The wealth you once thought would take 20 years to earn could enter your life in one single moment of alignment. That is why you've never been behind. You've been building momentum. You've been doing sacred work underneath the surface. You've been expanding from the inside out. And now, the outside is catching up. Feel that. Not fear, not pressure, just truth. You are aligned with overflow now, not someday. You are on the timeline where $500,000 evolves from fantasy to familiar. You are becoming someone who walks with money, not for it. Who honors abundance, not just chases it. And your life is ready to reflect that. Let yourself feel how light it gets from here, how effortless real alignment becomes. Because when money arrives from soul-level harmony, it doesn't feel like a crash, it feels like a homecoming. And this $500,000 that's been circling your field, it's not just a gift, it's a response. A response to the invisible work you've done when no one was watching. A response to every decision you made from alignment instead of approval. A response to every pivot, every prayer, every quiet, "I believe anyway," whispered into the dark. The universe saw it all. It remembers the days you chose to keep going. Now, money is on its way to remind you, not 1 second was wasted. The wealth you have been waiting for isn't off course. It's on the elevated path. And so are you. You're not behind. You're just closer than ever. Chapter 8. $77,000 will arrive in ways you never expected. It's not about figuring it out anymore. It's about feeling it in. There is a soft hush of certainty in the air now. Something is moving for you, even as you sit in stillness. You've shifted. Can you feel that? Even if the outer world looks the same, your inner world is a completely different frequency. And because of that, the universe isn't responding with crumbs anymore. It's responding with miracles. Specifically, $77,000 worth of magic, lining up beyond the edges of your sight, preparing to stream into your life in ways that will make you gasp. No, it won't be logical. It won't be tidy. And it won't happen how you imagined, because the life you're stepping into is bigger than your imagination. It's softer than planning and more powerful than control. This $77,000 isn't coming to the version of you that stressed over every detail. It's arriving to the you that finally surrendered the when, the where, the how, and began dancing with the who. Because when you stopped asking how will it come and began asking who am I becoming, the doors opened. This is a chapter of receptivity, of wild allowance, of leaning your body and your being into the unknown and trusting. The unknown is already familiar with your desires. The you inside your dreams, the you that's already living with this money, feeling the relief, the expansion, the freedom that $77,000 brings, has already met their future, and they sent this message back in time to you. Let it be easier. Let it surprise you. Let it come in ways you've never considered. You may not expect the check in the mail, the offer that slides into your inbox, the contract someone wants to renegotiate in your favor, the relative who finally says, "I want to gift you this," the idea that pours through you at midnight and turns into an online offer that changes everything. You may not expect the refund, the bonus, the forgotten client, the royalty check, the unspoken yes that finally becomes a loud, resounding, "You're hired." But it's all within reach. Not because you chased it, but because you became available to receive it. Everything changes when you stop demanding money to show up in the way you understand and allow it to arrive through the infinite intelligence that created oceans, galaxies, and your heartbeat. $77,000? That's nothing for the universe. That's a whisper. Nothing is too large in a reality that bends for your belief. Let yourself be a little stunned. Let yourself be deliciously caught off guard. Let the way it arrives remind you that you are being watched over in ways you cannot currently comprehend. That behind the late nights of doubt and the early mornings of wondering, when will it be my time? Energy was collecting. The tide was building. And now that you've let go of the shore, you'll be carried farther than your will ever could. This is an invitation to stop gripping, to stop trying so hard, to stop outsourcing timing to effort and effort to control. Money isn't earned in this paradigm. It is received by resonance. The more open your heart, the more reachable your soul. The smoother the current your abundance follows to find you. So breathe deep. Put your hand on your chest. Feel the vibration of truth stir in your belly. You know something is coming, and it's not just a hope, it's an echo. That $77,000 that's about to pour in, it's already real on the level of energy. All that's left is for you to stop doubting it and start becoming the you who welcomes it home. Wear your faith like perfume. Let your belief precede you. Speak about it, not with desperation, but with delight, with that sacred nonchalance that says, I don't know how, and I don't need to, but I know it's mine. That's alignment. That's attraction. That's the vibration of doors flying open without you touching the handle. So loosen your grip and widen your arms. The unexpected is often where the divine does its best work. You're no longer praying for random pennies from the sky. You are aligned with supernatural suns, arriving through beautiful, mysterious, and wildly orchestrated paths. The universe is full of options, and this is your season of stunning surprises. $7,000 is on its way. Not in the way you thought, but in the way your soul always knew. Chapter 9. Let go. And watch $20,000 flow in, without resistance. You don't have to hold it all together to be worthy of wealth. Breathe that in. You don't have to figure it all out, strain relentlessly, or clutch your dreams so tightly that your hands tremble. The truth that's been waiting for you to remember is this. The moment you finally relax, money can find you with grace. The very thing you've been chasing with so much effort is trying to arrive. The current of abundance is not activated by grasping, it's ignited by surrender. Let go not because it's over, but because it's beginning. There is $20,000 already swirling around you. Not someday, not after a set of perfect steps. Now. It's closer than your next breath, but it needed you to soften enough to feel it. There is a transaction being written in the ether, a divine deposit waiting to be received, not by force, but by faith. Money comes faster when you're not chasing it down alleyways of anxiety and timelines stuffed with tension. It finds you when you become a clear and quiet space for it to land. You have already called it in. You called it in every time you nodded with conviction that wealth was your birthright. You dialed its number with every decision to believe in more. You sent out your signal when you invested in your healing and stopped seeing money as an enemy dressed in numbers. Now, it's arriving. But here's the thing most people miss. Wealth doesn't walk through locked doors. It waits patiently until your heart, true safe, is unlocked. And the key? It's surrender. You've tried thinking your way there. You've tried working overtime for it. You've tried affirmations screamed through clenched teeth, wondering why they never tasted like truth. But abundance is not built by effort alone. It's received through allowance. This is the moment when you stop pushing against the river. And remember, you are the river. The resistance you felt wasn't wrong. It was part of the path. It taught you how tight your grip had become. It showed you where you still believed peace had to be earned. But not today. Not anymore. Today you loosen the hold. You breathe easier. Your shoulders drop. And the $20,000 rushes in. Not because you begged, but because you believed. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to devotion. And letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving over. To something higher, something wiser, something already in your favor. Each time you unclench your mind's need to know how, the divine answers with a watch this. And the pathway's open. A refund here, a bonus there. A stranger who becomes a gift. A project that pays you more than expected. A call, an email, a soft surprise that feels like destiny ringing your doorbell. This is what $20,000 can look like when you let go. It's not always about chasing the largest leap. It's being willing to enter the flow, where money comes without panic and stays. Surrender gets a bad reputation in a world obsessed with control, but true spiritual surrender doesn't make you passive. No, it makes you porous. It expands your receiving field. It says, I'm done resisting my own prosperity. I'm ready to be a vessel, not a vault. You can bless your bank account by blessing your nervous system. Calm is wealth's favorite frequency. That doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means fear no longer gets to lead. That doesn't mean action disappears. It means action becomes guided, easeful, almost orchestrated from above. This isn't laziness. This is divine permission to trust the truth. When you move out of the way, what's meant for you moves in. So breathe again. Deeper this time. Can you feel it? That lightness in your chest is not a mistake. It's possibility. That inner softening is a signal. You are available now, and availability is an invitation that wealth always accepts. You've stopped guarding the door out of fear and started holding it open out of faith. This is your new normal. Let the $20,000 come, not because you're perfect, not because you fought for it, but because you let go just long enough for it to find you. And it has. Chapter 10. Your generosity returns as $333,333 of unexpected income. You didn't give for the reward, and that is exactly why your reward is divine. What you poured out, from your heart, from your spirit, from your own hard-earned overflow, it was seen. It was recorded in a place no bank could touch, a kind of cosmic vault where energies are stored long before they materialize as dollars. You may not remember all the moments, the small acts of offering, the quiet forgiveness when appreciation never came, the times you said yes when no one else would, but the universe remembers. Always. Nothing given in love is ever lost. It simply ripples forward and waits patiently for the right moment to return. And now that moment is here. $333,333 has already been assigned as the return of every unseen kindness. Every time you gave your energy, your time, your resources, your faith, that wasn't just generosity, that was spiritual currency. And now, it's being cashed in. The floodgates are opening, not because you needed them to, but because you don't anymore. Not in desperation, not in hating struggle, but in soft, sovereign receiving. You detached from needing validation. You gave without expectations. You let your love lead. And now? That kind of giving turns into wealth that defies logic. You thought you were simply helping someone with a bill, or donating to a cause that mattered to your soul. But every time you gave, something unseen was growing. A pressed down, shaken together, overflowing blessing. A divine return not just for what you did, but for the energy of how you did it.
This isn't money that's waiting to be earned back. This is money that's coming back to you because it was always part of your sacred cycle. You're the kind of soul that opens doors for others without seeking applause.
The kind of energy that says, I'll go first, even when no one claps. And in the divine economy, that counts more than you know. So yes, divine compensation is arriving. In packages you couldn't have predicted, through encounters that seem like coincidence, offers that weren't in your plans, and blessings that feel too extravagant, until you remember your own heart and realize this is you, multiplied. Can you feel it? The warmth behind the number $333,333. It holds a frequency, not just a figure. It arrives wrapped in gratitude from every soul you've touched. It carries the vibration of your past generosity, echoed back into form. It's not a reward as much as it is a reflection of who you are and what you've chosen to be. Take a deep breath. You are not just a vessel of receiving, you are magnetic to the miraculous. You walk into rooms and shift atmospheres. The love you share is currency, and now that currency is converting into tangible, physical manifestations that will take your breath away. Don't shrink when it comes. Don't push it away with thoughts like, this is too much, or do I really deserve this? You absolutely do. This is not luck. This is alignment. Let the $333,333 find you in ways that feel like magic. But no, it's not magic. It's memory, the universe remembering all you've given. Every time you whispered a prayer for someone else, every time you transferred money with the intention of blessing, every moment you tipped a little extra, not because you had to, but because it felt good to love like that. And perhaps most sacred of all, the times you gave even when you barely had. The times you sowed seeds of kindness with faith alone. Those are the offerings that have now multiplied beyond measure. There are spiritual balloons floating above you, ones you forgot you ever released, prayers you whispered at midnight, tiny moments of hope wrapped in generosity. And now they're bursting, releasing a rain of resources you planted in silence. Now you shall harvest in awe. Say yes. Say thank you. Say, I receive. And as the $333,333 begins to trickle in from clients, gifts, refunds, surprise checks, inherited blessings, purchases, partnerships, and miracles cloaked in everyday moments, know this. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new cycle, one where generosity breeds overflow, one where heart-led abundance becomes your home, one where you don't just have enough, you have more than enough to keep giving, laughing, enjoying, and living in divine financial freedom. You gave with open hands. Now the heavens are opening theirs. Money is coming, loud, lavish, and lovingly, and it knows exactly where to find you, because the universe always returns what's given from a sacred place. And you, dear soul, have given purely. So now,
Get ready.
It's your turn. Chapter 11. The next 30 days will bring a $90,000 shift in your life. The shift is already stirring beneath the surface. Quiet at first like the subtle hum before dawn, but now it's growing louder. Do you feel it? That gentle, rumbling pull deep within you, whispering, something is about to change. This is not just another season. This is the shift. In the next 30 days, $90,000 per second. Every dollar is drawn from the groundwork you've already laid in faith, trust, and tears. There's something sacred about this time. You're not waiting for breakthrough. You're welcoming it. It's at your doorstep, not in the distance. Because finally, you're not just wishing, you're preparing. You are cleaning house within, energetically decluttering, letting go of old timelines, releasing identities that once kept you small. You've made room, not by force, but by faith. And because your energy now says, I'm ready, the universe is sending what belongs to you. A financial shift is inevitable when your spirit aligns like this. You won't have to chase it. You won't even have to try hard. This level of transformation isn't about action. It's about embodiment. Be the version of yourself who's already living with the $90,000 increase. Hear her laughter. Feel how differently she breathes. Sense the security in her chest, the boldness in her decisions, the calm power in how she walks into a room. That version of you is not out of reach. She is within you, and she is waking up. These next 30 days aren't counting down. They're counting in. Every sunrise is an invitation.
Every moment is a portal. You're not waiting for money. You're becoming the magnet. You're rewriting frequency codes in your sleep. You're radiating trust when no one is watching. You're aligning with a windfall that knows your heart. And this shift, this $90,000 upgrade, it's not just financial, it's personal.
It's a reward for the healing you did quietly, for the days you chose to believe, even with an empty bank account and tired hands, for the nights you whispered, thank you, into the dark. The money that's arriving is intelligent. It's purposeful. It's not just showing up, it's answering a call. The investments you've made in your faith are producing results. The vision you protected when no one understood is now becoming real. You're stepping into a quantum payout. No begging, no bargaining, no explaining required, just receiving. Let yourself stretch into this next level. Breathe into it. Let your body catch up with what your soul already knows. You are safe to receive this much. You are allowed to overflow. You are permitted to leap timelines, to ascend economically, emotionally, and spiritually, without anyone else's permission. And no, you don't need to know how it will come. That's not your job. It never has been. Your only job is being the clearest, most open channel for your good to find you. The universe choreographs resources with precision. You'll look back in awe as it all comes together. Jobs you didn't apply for, partnerships you didn't predict, clients you didn't search for, checks you didn't expect. The how takes care of itself when you decide you're worthy of this much more. In the next 30 days, let your life be a ceremony of expectation. Let your thoughts affirm what is already moving toward you, not from a place of neediness, but from a place of knowing it is done. Your account is expanding. Your wallet is catching up to your worth. Your life is opening like a divine vault, and what's rushing in belongs completely to you. Wake up each morning and greet your $90,000 timeline with gratitude. Say, I welcome the shift. I prepare for overflow. I let abundance land here. And then live like someone who fully expects miracles. Because they're not just coming. They've already begun. Chapter 12. $1 million is not far. It's inevitable. You can feel it, can't you? A quiet certainty echoing in your bones, like a truth you've always known, but only now have permission to believe. It's not a wish anymore. It's inevitability. The version of you who receives $1 million doesn't live in some distant alternate future. That version is already breathing inside of you, whispering, we're almost there. Keep trusting. You're closer than you've ever been. This isn't just about the number. It's about what the number unlocks. Freedom, expansion, safety so deep it reaches your cells. It's about waking up without anxiety in your chest. It's about dinners you pay for effortlessly, ideas you fund instantly, causes you support abundantly. It's not about hoarding. It's about multiplying impact, expanding worth, living wide open. letting the divine pour through you without financial ceilings. You've already crossed thresholds others never dared to approach. You've given when it stretched you. You've believed when nothing made sense. You've walked through lonely deserts of delay, rejections that felt like doors slamming shut, only to realize they were divine redirects. The climb wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The clearing away wasn't punishment. It was sacred refinement for a capacity so immense, a miracle so vast, it could only be carried by someone who knows who they truly are. You're not chasing $1 million. You're embodying the energy that draws it in. Feel that for a moment. Let it settle into your nervous system. You are now the version of you that money is proud to serve. Money delights in being near your energy because you command from worth, not ego. You spend with joy, not guilt. You circulate with heart, not fear. You rest knowing the supply is infinite and your access to it is unwavering. There is no race now, no clawing, no more trying to convince life that you're ready. The conversation has changed. You no longer beg the universe for proof. You declare the truth. I am proof. I am the evidence that overflow is possible. Read that again. You are the evidence. You represent every time you chose inner alignment over outer panic. You represent every time you trusted your essence over your timeline. And now, life is matching your frequency with precision. The $1 million isn't some unreachable mountaintop. It's on your path. The address has already been taken. The frequency has already been dialed. Your actions are magnetized. Your words are spells. Your presence is an invitation. Wealth recognizes you now. And timing? Darling, timing has never been the problem. Divine wealth is not on a clock. It's on calibration. And you've been doing that work. Even when it felt invisible. Even when it looked like nothing was changing. You were changing. And now the outer reality bends to reflect that. There is a stillness that comes over you when you finally believe it's inevitable. No more wrestling in your spirit. No more scarcity thoughts buzzing in your mind. You start moving with the grace of someone who is deeply provided for. You begin saying yes to what scared you before. You look in the mirror and think, of course it's coming. I'm made for this. And that's the truth. You are made for this. You didn't choose this vision, it chose you. That 1 million already exists in the quantum. Your job has never been to build it. Your job has always been to meet it. So now, your choices reflect abundance. Now, your boundaries echo your worth. Now, your energy vibrates like something enormous is on its way. Because it is. If you soften, if you lean in, you'll feel the future breathing right behind you. Not heavy, not forceful, just present, ready. Like a trusted companion walking you through the golden gates of your next level. And those gates, by the way, were never locked. You only needed to accept that they were built for you. So step in. Smile. Open your arms. You've built the capacity. You've earned the frequency. You've remembered who you are. The one who receives in overflow. The one who doesn't force, but flows. The one the universe gets excited to reward. This isn't crossing the finish line. This is entering your domain. And in this domain, $1 million doesn't shock you. It recognizes you. It kneels at your arrival.